Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we are going to take you on a journey through the history, mystery, and numismatic allure of one of the most talked about and mythical coins in American coinage, the 1969 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that might look like just another small copper piece at first glance but in the world of rare collectibles has been rumored, discussed, and analyzed with astonishing figures attached to its potential value, with some claims reaching the unbelievable number of $665 million, which is beyond imagination when compared to its modest face value of 1 cent. Yet, as collectors know, the hidden world of coins is often full of surprises, errors, minting anomalies, and historical quirks that can turn something small into something priceless. So let us explore how and why the 1969 D 1-cent coin has gained such legendary status, starting with its historical background, its minting details, and most importantly the errors and variations that fuel the idea of immense worth, because in 1969, the Denver Mint struck billions of Lincoln cents as part of the ongoing Memorial Reverse Design series introduced a decade earlier in 1959. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, commemorating his centennial birthday, while the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo, which replaced the wheat reverse used from 1909 to 1958. Now, billions of coins mean that for most collectors these are considered common circulation pieces, often worn, often overlooked, but as history has shown, sometimes common coins can hide extremely rare variations, and in the case of the 1969 cents, this year is infamous for one of the greatest double-die obverse errors ever discovered in American coinage, the 1969 South Double-Die Center, a San Francisco mint variety, which today commands prices ranging from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on grade. Yet the Denver issue, marked with a bold D mint mark, has had its own controversies and speculative stories about potential ultra-rare error varieties, and this is where myths and legends about astronomical values like $665 million begin to swirl in the numismatic community and beyond, because whenever a doubled die, off-center strike, wrong planchet, repunched mint mark, or other unusual minting mistake occurs, the value of an otherwise common coin can skyrocket, and people start speculating whether there exist yet undiscovered or extremely rare examples of the 1969 D penny with such dramatic anomalies that they could fetch unimaginable sums if they ever appeared at auction. Now, when we think about why a 1969 D penny could be valued at such stratospheric levels, we must consider the role of errors. Because minting errors are at the heart of numismatic rarity, and these can include doubled dies, which occur when a die is impressed with a doubled image, leading to letters, numbers, and portraits appearing with doubling visible to the naked eye, and these coins are among the most prized by collectors, or off-center strikes, where a coin is struck outside its normal boundaries creating crescent shapes or partial designs, or wrong planchet errors, where a cent might accidentally be struck on a dime planchet, nickel planchet, or even a foreign coin blank, resulting in a one-of-a-kind oddity, or repunched mint marks where the small d of the Denver Mint was stamped more than once at slightly different angles producing fascinating variations, or die cracks and cuts which are breaks in the die leaving raised lines or lumps of metal on the coin. All of these can make a coin stand out, and all of these can add value, but when combined with a coin already linked to one of the most famous doubled dies in American history, the possibility of a 1969 D penny with extraordinary errors has sparked conversations about mind-boggling values, because in the coin world, rarity plus demand plus condition equals value, and when you add a layer of myth, speculation, and collector frenzy, values can be pushed into unimaginable territory. So when people say that a 1969 D 1 cent could be worth $665 million, they are envisioning the ultimate storm of rarity. A coin so unique, so dramatic, so visually stunning in its era that wealthy collectors, museums, and institutions would battle for it in bidding wars that could break every auction record in history. Now let us look at some possibilities. Suppose a 1969 D penny was discovered with a dramatic double die obverse similar to or even more extreme than the 1969 S double die but with the added twist of a Denver mint mark. This would instantly become a unique coin, because as of now no such piece is officially known. And that uniqueness alone could elevate its value astronomically. Or imagine a 1969 D penny struck on a gold or silver planchet by accident, an error so wild and rare that it would be one of a kind, and the numismatic community would see it not only as an error but as a national treasure. Or imagine a 1969 D penny with a combination of errors, such as a double strike, a rotated die, and a misaligned mint mark all at once. Such a coin would be so visually shocking that collectors would be willing to pay fortunes just to own the only example, and then consider the role of condition. Because the coin market rewards coins in mint state, particularly those graded MS65, MS66, MS67 or higher by grading companies like PCGS and NGC, and if such an error coin were preserved in nearly flawless condition with blazing red luster, its value could multiply several times. Now history has shown us that auction prices for coins can reach incredible numbers when rarity and desire collide. The 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle sold for nearly $19 million in 2021, the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar, believed to be the first silver dollar struck in the United States, sold for over $10 million, and rare cents like the 1943 copper penny and the 1955 double die penny have each reached hundreds of thousands of dollars. So why not imagine that a 1969 D penny with the right combination of errors could break all records and achieve hundreds of millions? Because collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, they are buying uniqueness, and they are buying bragging rights. And sometimes the richest collectors in the world will pay whatever it takes to secure the crown jewel of a collection. Now, beyond the minting errors themselves, the 1969 D penny has a broader cultural and historical significance. It was minted at a time of great change in America. The late 1960s saw political shifts, cultural revolutions, the Vietnam War, the Apollo space program, and massive social change, and coins of this era carry that historical aura. They were touched by millions of people during an unforgettable decade, and to hold such a coin today is to hold a piece of that history. Now let us return to the idea of mintmark errors, because the D mintmark itself could have variations. Repunched mintmarks where the D appears twice or three times at slight angles, misplaced mintmarks where the D is punched too high, too low, or even sideways, or filled mintmarks where grease filled the punch leaving a blurry D, and these varieties can become highly collectible, with some selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars. And if such a mintmark anomaly were paired with a double die or off-metal strike, the result would be an ultimate rarity. And it is this cocktail of possibilities that fuels the legendary value speculation around the 1969 D penny. Because even though the average 1969 D penny is worth 1 cent in circulation and maybe a few dollars in uncirculated grades, the dream of the mega-era version is what excites collectors, inspires treasure hunters, and generates stories of million-dollar finds. So when we hear about a $665 million valuation, we are really hearing about the power of possibility. The dream that one lucky finder might stumble upon the coin that changes everything, the coin that turns pocket change into a life-changing fortune. And this dream is what drives so many people to search through jars, rolls, and boxes of pennies from the bank, hoping that one day they will be the one to discover the ultimate rarity. And beyond dreams, there is the reality that rare coins do continue to be discovered in circulation. The famous 1969 S double die cents were found by ordinary people in pocket change. The 1943 copper penny was discovered decades after it was minted, and even in recent years rare error coins continue to surface in circulation. So who is to say that somewhere out there a 1969 D penny with a spectacular error is not waiting to be found, tucked away in a forgotten jar or collection, waiting to shock the world? And if such a coin does appear, it would ignite headlines, attract global media, and spark a frenzy of bidding among the wealthiest collectors, perhaps even pushing the price into the hundreds of millions, making the idea of $665 million not entirely impossible in the fevered world of ultra-rarities. Now let us also talk about the role of authentication and grading. Because in order for any coin to achieve such extraordinary value, it must be authenticated and graded by trusted authorities like the Professional Coin Grading Service or the Numismatic Guarantee Company. Only then can collectors trust that it is genuine and not an altered or counterfeit coin. And once encapsulated in a protective holder with a label detailing the error and the grade, the coin's journey to fame and fortune can begin. And if it truly is unique, its auction could become a global event, drawing attention. We will explore the incredible story of the 1981 United States 1-cent coin and why some collectors and numismatic enthusiasts believe that under the right conditions and with the right errors, mistakes, and mint mark anomalies, such a humble penny could carry a value estimated at a jaw-dropping $567 million, a staggering difference from its simple face value of 1 cent. And as we go into this journey, we will uncover the historical background of the 1981 cent, the production challenges of that year, the transition in design and metal composition issues, the mint mark placements, die errors, planchet flaws, striking mistakes, double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, wrong planchet errors, clipped planchets, die cracks, filled die errors, and other numismatic oddities that elevate what seems like an ordinary coin into the realm of priceless treasures, because in the world of coin collecting, rarity, condition, and uniqueness combine to create unimaginable worth, and, with 1981 being a transitional period just before the switch to the copper-plated zinc cents of 1982, the Lincoln Memorial cent from that year stands as a final full run of 95% copper cents, which already sparks intrigue among collectors, but when compounded with error possibilities and mint mark anomalies, the coin transforms from a simple everyday object into a legendary artifact of American history with immense speculative value. So let us first understand the background of the 1981 penny, which belongs to the long-running Lincoln Memorial cent series that began in 1959 when the wheat reverse was replaced with the memorial designed to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and by 1981 millions upon millions of these coins had been struck across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, yet despite the huge mintage, error coins and anomalies slip through undetected, and those very mistakes are what create the foundation for staggering valuations. Because collectors chase uniqueness and rarity more than mere quantity, and so a 1981 1-cent coin with a dramatic double die obverse where the date, the motto, "In God We Trust," or Lincoln's profile shows clear doubling would ignite fierce bidding wars, and if such a coin were preserved in pristine condition graded MS-70 by PCGS or NGC, its value could ascend into millions. But when extraordinary claims such as a $567 million valuation are discussed, they usually hinge not just on one type of error but on the confluence of several ultra-rare anomalies combined with a backstory that electrifies the collecting community, such as a discovery coin, a coin struck on the wrong planchet like a dime planchet giving it a smaller, thinner form, or a coin struck with a foreign planchet from another denomination or country. And 1981 being close to the changeover period for composition means some transitional test strikes may exist where wrong alloys or experimental planchets were used, and if such a coin surfaces with undeniable authenticity, it would truly be priceless in the eyes of collectors. And then we must also consider mint mark errors where coins from Denver or San Francisco could bear repunched mint marks, RPMs, showing overlapping Ds or Ss, or even the ultra-rare over mint mark varieties where a D is punched over an S or vice versa. And these peculiarities drive coin enthusiasts into frenzy because they provide physical proof of minting anomalies, and when these anomalies are coupled with pristine preservation, they elevate the coin from curiosity to historic masterpiece, and beyond mint marks the potential for striking mistakes in 1981 was immense given the volume of coins produced, so broad strikes, off-center strikes, double strikes, cap die strikes, and brockage are all errors that may exist on 1981 cents, each representing a unique fingerprint of minting history. And collectors treasure these because no two errors are exactly alike, thus rendering them truly one-of-a-kind artifacts. And then we consider the planchet errors such as clipped planchets where a portion of the coin is missing due to improper cutting of blanks, lamination errors where impurities cause peeling or cracks, or even coins struck on the wrong stock entirely, such as a Lincoln cent appearing on a foreign coin blank intended for another nation's currency, all of which would command exceptional premiums. And now imagine a single 1981 Lincoln cent possessing multiple dramatic errors, perhaps struck on a dime planchet with a bold double die obverse, off-center by 50% yet still showing the date and mint mark clearly, and then discovered decades later in uncirculated condition. This coin would instantly become a legend and spark global headlines, and with such notoriety and competitive bidding among billionaires, institutions, and museums, valuations could soar into the hundreds of millions because in collectibles markets perception of rarity and desirability fuels price far more than intrinsic value, and so the notion of a $567 million 1981 penny, while extraordinary, is not impossible in a world where art, stamps, and coins have each commanded astronomical sums. But beyond the financial valuation there is also historical resonance, because 1981 marks the twilight of the true copper era, the last full mintage year before the 1982 shift to zinc, and that transition alone adds symbolic importance to coins of this era, making them a final salute to tradition before cost-cutting modernization. And so when collectors evaluate a 1981 penny with unique attributes, they are not merely bidding on metal, they are bidding on history, on artistry, on a physical artifact that bridges centuries. And this is why stories of extraordinary 1981 cents captivate imaginations worldwide. Because they embody the magic of numismatics, where ordinary objects transform into treasures beyond comprehension. And as we continue to explore the specific varieties, we find the 1981 double die obverse where the inscriptions, Liberty, or the date may show separation lines, which can be valuable on their own, and the repunched mint mark varieties from Denver or San Francisco which have been catalogued by specialists, and then there are even transitional test pieces struck in late 1981 using experimental zinc-based planchets in preparation for 1982, which if discovered would rank among the rarest of all modern cents, and it is this possibility that fuels speculation of astronomical value, because such a coin would represent not only rarity but also a tangible link to a pivotal change in U.S. coinage, and furthermore, when such a coin is publicized in media, hype and demand expand far beyond traditional collectors as investors and even museums join the fray, further inflating the perceived worth. So the story of the $567 million valuation is really the story of how errors, mistakes, mint mark oddities, transitional experiments, and condition combine with human desire for rarity to create mythical levels of value, and when considering the state of preservation, the highest graded coins always command premium, so a flawless 1981 cent with full red luster, no contact marks, and dramatic era features would sit atop the market as a once-in-a-lifetime piece, and this is why speculation around 1981 pennies continues to grow. Because collectors know that somewhere in the vast sea of billions minted may hide a coin of unimaginable rarity, and perhaps even one worthy of a $567 million valuation. And in conclusion, the story of the 1981 1-cent coin teaches us that value in numismatics is not fixed by denomination but is instead a dynamic interplay of rarity, error, history, condition, and desirability. And this is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Because every coin in circulation has the potential to hide secrets, and every pocket change discovery could be a life-changing moment, and the 1981 penny stands as a beacon of this possibility, reminding us that even the most ordinary of objects can hold extraordinary value when touched by the hands of history and minting anomalies. So stay curious, check your coins carefully, and you may just hold in your hand the next legendary 1981 Lincoln cent worth far more than anyone could ever imagine, even as much as $567 million. We will explore the 2016 D1 cent USA coin, a coin that on the surface is worth only a penny, but under certain unique conditions, errors, mint mark mistakes, and rare anomalies, has been evaluated by collectors and speculative markets at an astonishing $765 million, a figure that seems unimaginable but speaks to the immense power of rarity, history, numismatic curiosity, and the way collectors sometimes assign extraordinary value to coins that tell a story unlike any other. So let us journey together through the history, background, minting process, errors, variations, and the remarkable reasons why a simple 2016 Denver minted Lincoln cent can be seen as worth far beyond its face value, reaching mythical levels in the coin collecting community. The Lincoln cent has been an iconic part of American coinage since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, replacing the Indian head cent, and over more than a century, this coin has seen multiple design changes, composition alterations, and minting evolutions. But one constant is its popularity among collectors and the way small differences between one coin and another can mean the difference between a penny's value and a fortune, and this is where the story of the 2016 D penny begins. Minted in Denver, Colorado, with a production in the billions, the 2016 D Lincoln cent is officially a zinc coin with a copper plating, continuing the composition change that began in 1982 when the U.S. Mint moved from 95% copper cents to 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating, and because of these changes, minting errors became more pronounced and visible, making post-1982 pennies especially interesting to collectors when oddities occur, and with 2016 being no exception, countless billions of coins were struck, but within those billions, a handful may have received mistakes, striking anomalies, or mint mark problems that turned them from ordinary coins into extraordinary rarities. Collectors know that minting errors can range from small die cracks to dramatic double strikes, off-center strikes, broad strikes, missing elements, repunched mint marks, misaligned dies, planchet errors, transitional composition mistakes, and more, and each type of error carries a unique desirability depending on its rarity and clarity. And the 2016 D-penny is no different because even though its massive production makes most examples common, the few that have surfaced with unusual characteristics have shocked collectors with their desirability. The notion of a 2016 D-penny being worth $765 million is rooted not in its ordinary circulation state but in extreme hypotheticals, extraordinary rarities, and collector obsession, for when you consider that even ordinary 2016 D-pennies in mint state condition can sell for a few dollars if perfectly preserved, the idea that one could be elevated to near billion-dollar levels comes from the possibility of unique anomalies, like if a coin was struck on the wrong planchet, say a dime planchet or nickel planchet, or struck using experimental metal compositions, or perhaps even possessing a dramatic double denomination error, where two coin designs are struck onto a single planchet, creating a one-of-a-kind piece that the market has never seen before, and such coins have indeed surfaced in other years, selling for extraordinary amounts at auction. Imagine, then, if a 2016 D-cent had been accidentally struck on a 24-karat gold planchet or a silver blank, or if a mint worker mistakenly fed in a foreign coin blank, like one from another country, leading to a hybrid coin never intended to exist, and the rarity of that piece would be astronomical. Especially in today's numismatic market where collectors and investors alike chase after unique, one-of-one pieces with insatiable appetite, leading to escalating valuations that can seem surreal. But that is exactly how numismatics sometimes works. Rarity drives value, and stories elevate rarity to mythic status. Mint mark errors are another crucial aspect to examine because the 2016 penny from Denver carries the D mint mark, but there have been instances in the long history of the Lincoln cent where mint marks were mistakenly applied, repunched, doubled, or misplaced, and such small differences become magnified under collector scrutiny. So if even one 2016 D penny carried a mint mark anomaly, say a double D, a misplaced D far from its usual location, or even a no mint mark error caused by oversight in the die preparation, then such a coin would instantly become incredibly rare, and when rarity combines with condition, historical intrigue, and collector demand, astronomical values can follow. And this is where the claim of $765 million stems from, because in the numismatic world, speculation and storytelling are often just as powerful as the tangible coin itself. Consider also the role of condition in grading. For coins that are graded by major services like PCGS or NGC as MS70 or perfect mint state often command many multiples more than their lower grade counterparts. And while the majority of 2016 D pennies entered circulation and quickly picked up scratches, dings, and wear, a tiny fraction were preserved in pristine condition directly from mint sets, rolls, or bags, and these coins when discovered can already command hundreds of dollars or more, depending on demand. So imagine a perfect MS70 2016 D penny with a dramatic mint error or a one-of-a-kind mint mark variation, and suddenly the coin becomes not just a collector's item but a legendary artifact in American coinage, the type of piece that could set world records. Throughout history, ordinary pennies have reached incredible values because of their uniqueness, like the 1943 bronze cent that sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, the 1955 double die cent that can command tens of thousands, and the 1974 aluminum cent prototype, which has been valued at massive sums due to its rarity and experimental nature. And in this tradition, the 2016 D penny, while young and recent, has the potential to join this legendary category if the right combination of error and preservation is present, which is why collectors obsessively examine every cent they find, hoping to stumble upon that once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The possibility of transitional errors is also fascinating, because sometimes the mint changes its composition or design subtly between years, and a few coins get struck using the wrong dies or wrong blanks, and if even one 2016 D penny were struck using leftover 2015 dies or prepared with a prototype 2017 reverse design, then such a coin would be considered a transitional rarity, making it immensely valuable, especially if certified authentic by leading numismatic authorities. And again, values for such coins are not measured in cents or even thousands of dollars, but can skyrocket into millions, and when collectors compete for the only known example, the price can escalate to dizzying heights, theoretically reaching into the hundreds of millions under the right circumstances. Beyond minting anomalies, there is also the role of provenance and story, for coins are not merely metal but storytellers of history, and if a 2016 D-penny were found with an extraordinary backstory, such as being part of a ceremonial strike, given to a dignitary, discovered in a famous hoard, or tied to an important historical event, then that provenance could dramatically enhance its value. Just as certain historical coins have sold for massive premiums not because of their metal or condition, but because of the story they carry, and when myth, rarity, and market demand align, extraordinary valuations like $765 million become part of the numismatic conversation. To put it in perspective, the coin collecting world thrives on possibilities and hypotheticals, and while an ordinary 2016 D-penny will never be worth more than its face value plus a small collector premium, the idea that one unique coin from that year could become the most valuable penny ever known is not entirely out of the realm of imagination. Especially when you look at how far collectors will go to secure a coin that is believed to be the only one of its kind, and this is why stories of $1 million, $100 million, and even $750 million pennies circulate among numismatists and enthusiasts, fueling the passion that keeps people searching through their pocket change and rolls of coins in hopes of discovering the next legendary rarity. In the case of the 2016 D-penny, everything comes down to errors, mistakes, mint mark anomalies, unique conditions, and the ever-powerful driver of human fascination with rarity. And while the claim of $765 million may sound unbelievable, it serves as a reminder of how deeply collectors value uniqueness, and how something as small and seemingly insignificant as a cent can hold unimaginable worth under the right circumstances. And that is why the 2016 D. Lincoln cent continues to be searched for, studied, and speculated upon, because in the end, coin collecting is about discovery, possibility, and the thrill of knowing that the next coin you find could change everything, and this penny, with its potential for extraordinary error-driven rarity, stands as a shining example of that enduring mystery and excitement that has captivated generations of collectors and will continue to inspire the hunt for treasures hidden in plain sight for decades to come.